So how many homeopathic arnica tablets would you have to buy to get a single molecule of arnica? The answer is 7 million billion 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 billion.
Billion. Yes, indeed, a maths expert worked out that a single molecule of arnica ingredient is diluted over and over and over and over again until it's eventually divided between... Anyway, you know the numbers. Welcome back. You're watching Britain's brightest daytime show, where in a moment, Scott will be taking us through the rest of today's headlines. First, though, the panel's thoughts on this story from The Independent, an unusual protest against homeopathy. You can ping us an email with your thoughts. writestuff@5.tv is the address. At 10:23 a.m. Next Saturday morning, more than 300 sceptics are going to take part in a mass overdose on homeopathic pills. Each of the demonstrators will swallow a whole bottle of pills outside a different branch of Boots the Chemist. Why Boots? Well, the protesters are furious that the high street pharmacy chain sells homeopathic treatments, which they say are based on absurd pseudoscience. They reckon if they all survive, they will have proved that homeopathy is nonsense. Will they? I mean, homeopathy isn't about using one antibody to kill another or soaking cells in toxic soup. It's about using tiny doses of substances that stimulate the body's own defences to sort itself out, just as vaccines do, and we know they work. Homeopathy is big business, £38 million a year in this country. No wonder Boots wants a slice of the action, and around 500,000 people take these natural remedies. Do they know more than these 300 protesters? For its part, Boots says, we aim to offer the products we know our customers want. Indeed, you may remember just 3 months ago, Paul Bennett, a top-level exec at the company, admitted his stores do indeed sell these treatments because many people buy them, not because they work, because they don't. So says he. But you're a believer, aren't you, Scott?
I am. I have a lesbian homeopathic marathon-running acupuncturist that I see, and I believe in what she does. You know, I think that a lot of medicine, a lot of health recovery is psychological anyway, not that homeopathy is, but I think it does give you the feeling as a patient that you've taken your health into your own hands a little bit. And, you know, a lot of doctors are trained in homeopathy anyway, because a lot of it is included in their... there's other things, not just the medicine, but you're meant to ask the patient how they are in other ways of their life, and you're not meant to rush them through a clinic visit like so many doctors
Well, I
do.
know reflexology is offered on the NHS to people with cancer.
Acupuncture is too.
Acupuncture you can get. Electroacupuncture I've seen. What about these sort of dilutions where you get sort of one part of a toxic substance, perhaps to billions and billions of parts of water? I mean, it's so dilute. Do you believe that they can actually work? Or
well, I
maybe
think
that there's nothing there at all.
I think that all medicines are risky and slightly you're taking a chance with anything you take, and they seem to have worked for me because I'm 8,000 years old and I'm still here. Damn it, I'm still here. And this is whiskey. No, I mean marijuana is in a way a homeopathic remedy, isn't it?
No. Oh, it's
well,
not.
Is it not?
It's not, because in a homeopathic remedy, there is effectively none of the substance left. It's not just a tiny molecule that's been diluted. It's been diluted to the point where there's actually none of it left. In the bottle that you take, there is none. There might be one molecule out of 2 billion bottles that they produce. So there's none in the bottle
you sound like the kind of guy who might be standing outside Boots on Saturday morning.
Yeah, I might well be. I might well, because I think there's a dangerous edge to that, because what it does it's not dangerous for you, but it's not curing you. So if it makes some middle-class people spend a bit of money and make them feel like they're taking their health into their own hands, that's fine.
And if it makes them, and they feel good?
No, and that's absolutely fine. But at one level, if it starts to lead people to believe that this is a genuine medicine, they also sell homeopathic anti-malarial treatments. And some people who take anti-malarial treatments which don't cure them get malaria.
Who works
and that means that some people die. And so if it leads to a belief in stuff that doesn't actually help you, and somebody doesn't go to their doctor who will help them because they go to Boots and buy an anti-malarial thing instead. I don't think Boots actually sell the anti-malarial treatments, but some homeopathic practitioners do. Then that's actually dangerous. And Boots selling homeopathy leads some people to go, well, they're a big chemist, they sell it, it must work.
So you're saying Boots should sell marijuana, is what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying marijuana is actually something where you take a dose of something.
Right.
Yeah. If there was a homeopathic version of marijuana, it would contain no marijuana.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
OK. Gail, are you a cynic or are you a believer?
I'm cynical, I'm afraid. I've tried homeopathic remedies before for certain things, but then again, I've also been put on medication for things that I've had, and they've been not good for me at all, and they've actually thrown me in a worse position than I was already. So I'm Scottish, man. We don't need anything. Just a few drams, you're all right. And I'm not. I have tried to take a few. You know, people have always been extremely nice and gone, right. You know, my hair fell out. Take this the homeopathy stuff, and I've taken nothing.
Now, I mean, the boots situation is quite interesting because there's the largest part of my thinking on this says that if people buy stuff and it makes them think they're feeling well, then that is good.
Yeah, and that's the placebo effect, and that works.
The placebo effect, that's fine. Do you share Dave's concern that Boots is legitimising an area of medicine that is not empirical, that is not scientific?
You're buying pills at Boots. I mean, come on. If you're taking that risk, you're already thinking, well, this might work, it might not. Arnica cream does work, by the way. I've used it on bruises and on cuts, and it does help you heal faster.
Well, I mean, how can you... I mean, do you have a control? Because I find bruises just go anyway of their own volition, so...
Yeah, exactly.
They're all shouting in my ear, Arnica's good, Arnica's good.
The bark of a willow tree turns out to be a really good pain reliever, but what happens is that becomes aspirin. If alternative medicine works and gets tested, it becomes medicine.
Right.
That's what happens.
And
you test it and it works.
And you feel that the public should be given medicines that have been tested, that sort of empirical proven.
It's up to the individual. If they want to do it, if Boots want to sell it and people want to buy it and they believe in it, I do think a lot of it's psychological.
OK. Don't forget, you can email your thoughts on this. It's always a contentious issue. Rightstuff@5.tv is the address. After the ads, though, it's Scott with the rest of today's headlines, including a desperate plea by the British couple being held by Somali pirates. And we're going to show you the filthy nude picture deemed too rude for the BBC. Get ready to be shocked. We're back in 3.
So according to today's Telegraph, Indonesian Muslims want women banned from having perms because they invite moral dangers.
Yeah, you're watching Friday's Right Stuff with Dave Goldman, Gail Porter and Scott Capurro. Coming up shortly, would any woman watching today marry a man who used to be gay? No? What if I told you he spent 10 years in a sexless gay relationship, so maybe he's not as gay as he thinks? So, would you take a chance and take him as your husband? 0207 173 5555 is the number. First, though, Scott, what have you got in the papers?
On the cover of the Times, Obama takes on banks. And then I read below, and it says, and my stocks crash, apparently, because Dow Jones went down 2%, so I kind of wish the President of the U.S. would keep his mouth shut.
Come on.
No, come on, I know the banks are naughty, but they're doing it for us, aren't they? I mean, there are banks. But he wants to halt proprietary trading, the risks that banks take, kind of the problem Enron got involved in. He wants to stop that sort of thing. And he wants them to operate more cautiously. Yeah. And that's what he wants them to do.
Because it follows on from his announcement. He came with that great line, if they want to fight, I'm going to give it to them.
He said it, though, in kind of a, well, if they want to fight, I'm going to give it to them.
No, he didn't.
He's a slapper, not a puncher. We need, you know what I mean? We need Reagan back. Anyway, come on. He was great. I miss him. Glamorous, at least, right? Like Tony Blair, whom I'm a fan of also, and back off Tony Blair. Anyway, on the cover of The Independent, Goldman Sachs has handed its staff last year £10 billion. And then they list a number of figures that they've given away to their staff and a number of figures.
So each banker is going to get a bonus of over $500,000.
The average amount they pay to a worker at Goldman Sachs is £309,000.
Yeah, $500,000.
So why aren't we working there?
Well, it's very interesting. Tony Blair, right, that socialist champion that you admire so much. I was reading the other day, what does his eldest son do? His eldest son has become a merchant banker. So he must have learned a thing or two while he was in the corridors of power, eh? He's not out there, bringing rich and poor together or following any of his father's socialist principles.
He's a merchant socialists banker. Had to be badly dressed. People do say that if you're a socialist, you can wear a nice hat when you're on television. Anyway, on the next one, in the Daily Mirror, she asked me to
Can I just say that what would be interesting is whether or not now Obama has launched this attack on banks, and it looks like he's going to follow it up, despite what you say. Will Gordon Brown do the same?
Well, he tends to follow the United States like a little puppy. He does. And
anyway.
Well, anyway.
The trouble is in this country is we've lost a lot of our actual manufacturing industry. We've only got the financial services industry left, and they're scared of scaring them off.
It'd be great if you guys could, build your own progressive instead of following America's around. But that's your story. Anyway, Daily Mirror. Dead in 3 days. 2 British yachtspeople have been kidnapped by Somali pirates and they claim in video that they'll be dead in 3 days if some sort of deal is not brokered.
I just find it... I mean, it just feels like the country's abandoned them. I mean, this is a story. It's an inside page of the Daily Mail. At least they made it a whole page. Yeah. In The Sun, it's a little column off. These are British citizens who've been taken captive. Their lives are under threat.
But they're from Kent. And the next story is the Daily Mail. No, I know, it's terrible.
It is terrible.
But they're over 50.
It doesn't feel like enough is being done.
Well, they're all...
Scott!
They're past childbearing years. So
Scott!
We're finished with them.
In a way, what he's pointing out is the way the media works. If there was a cute child involved, it would be front-page news. I mean, and that is the way the media works.
And if the wife was
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
No, it's true. I mean, I think that...
Backtrack.
There's no rock and roll involved with these two. You know what I mean? There's no glamour. And on the cover, not the cover, but on page 33 of the Daily Mail,